Hello everyone, welcome to Trade. Today we're going to be seeing the Nifty and Banknifty levels for 27th and also a trade review of what happened today. This is the 15-minute chart of Banknifty. See, we had this good resistance zone here. Yesterday I had marked this, even in my analysis, this red zone that I'm marking. We kind of gapped up above it. We gapped up around 36,500 and immediately there was some resistance on the upper side, the gap. So how this gap fill works is, unless we go into the gap with a strong candle, this gap doesn't get filled, right? The boundaries of the gap is nothing but this gap down that we had on 21st April. The upper boundary and the lower boundary will always act as support and resistance. In today's case, it acted as resistance. See, on the 15-minute chart, let me get rid of this. See, on the 15-minute chart, after we got this nice strong rejection and had a nice dip. See, today was a very choppy day for trading, like especially for intraday traders. Option sellers again would have made money today, not the option buyers, but there were some good chances for scalping. I'll be showing you that and some of the trades that I took. So this is the 5-minute chart of Banknifty where I have all the CPI levels enabled. See, the black dotted line is the previous day high. Let me just even mark it as well. See, we never broke the previous day high. I had a view that if R1 breaks and then the previous day high also breaks, we can probably slip until the CPR or get some dip. We got few dips, but we could not break the previous day high. So a couple of trades that I took was, I kind of shorted here, because here, and this dotted line is the weekly CPR, right? Again, at weekly CPR we took resistance. And one more thing to add is, on the 15-minute chart we were at the 200 EMA taking resistance. I'm just turning on the EMAs in this indicator. See, exactly at 200 EMA, this pink line is the 200 EMA. Exactly at 200 EMA we came and took resistance. So based on all that, attempted a short trade here. Here it was also like an evening star on 5-minute, but it failed. The moment this up move was coming, probably at this candle, I got out. Then definitely on when we took resistance here, right, on the 15-minute chart, exactly at the gap. Let me go back to this chart. Exactly on this gap when we took resistance, right, kind of took a short trade, and obviously my targets were the R1 of CPR and the previous day high. So just took one short trade here. Then again at this level, right, when this fall came, if I show the same thing on a 5-minute chart in Banknifty, again took one short trade here when we were taking resistance at the R1. Kind of hope this dip will come, and when this dip came, we also had this kind of channel and the trend line, right? So the moment we it kind of looked like we're not going to break down this previous day high, immediately exited my trade, and the profits we made was very less, nothing big. But when the day is choppy like this, that's all we can do. The first trade took a loss of 4,000, then kind of recovered with 7,000 and 2,000, and this was just a last trade I just squared off as didn't have the mood to do anything more. This is just a small profit, but that's all we could do. See, when the move is only about, say, 200 points, in that the option premium will go up about like 50, 60 or 80 points. So there's nothing much you can do. See, the entire day the range was almost like yesterday, within 333 points. The entire day, the high and low, if you see, it was only 333 points. So there's nothing much we can do. It's only just some small scalps. See, now coming for the trade possibilities for tomorrow, this gap, what I've marked, I'll hold it, because I'm expecting again, if we come up here, we'll take some resistance, that is around 36,500. See, another thing to note is we have been going in this channel, 1, 2, we came here we exactly took kind of this line. We have come here, we have got a nice candle. We cannot rule out a move until here. Now see, if you just look at the overall structure, the Bank Nifty is not very bullish, right? We got a fall and there's just a small retracement. There is a good chance we might get, if this trend line breaks, we might get another fall as well. Even this is possible. But based on how the structure is forming, we cannot also rule out this move. See, now just because the Bank Nifty is moving in this channel and we are expecting a touch, say about 36,900, we cannot blindly buy, right? So we'll make use of CPR and other things to buy. That is, if we get a strong 15-minute candle going into this gap, which is also above the R1 and the previous day high, definitely we can buy with this. First target will be the gap fill itself, then probably we can trail until 36,900 or so. But breaking that could be a little difficult because this is a very strong resistance zone, that is this 36,580 where the gap is. If we get a rejection here, right, somewhere here, and if we are looking for a short, the best shot is probably at this level when we get some nice rejection like this, like how we got today on a 15-minute candle. And the second thing is, if the CPR and this trend line both break with a nice 15-minute candle, and if the 15-minute RSI goes below 40 at this point, then probably we can take a shot with the first level of support at 36,260, and then we have the CPR support, and based on price action the next support is only at 35,900. So this is a plan for Bank Nifty. One is buy if this gap and this R1 breaks, and short if this trend line breaks, depending on the gap up or a gap down. If you get a huge gap down, probably huge in the sense like gap down around this area, 36,200 or so, then probably we'll get a nice buy from here. So where we open is important, and in case we get a huge gap up, right, like say we gap up itself close to this gap, then there is a possibility we might even get a sell off from here. So always we should have our options open when it comes to preparing for the next day. The only thing that we can be prepared is the levels where we can short or go long. Now for example, yesterday in my analysis I had given a strong, as per my analysis I had taken this as a strong strong resistance area, right? But we gapped up above and took resistance at this gap. So just because we get this kind of huge gap up, will we not trade? We can trade, but we'll have to be careful with our levels. So these are the levels that I'll be working with. And if I just look at the open interest for Bank Nifty for tomorrow, see, we have a lot of resistance at 36,500, but at the same time the change in OI shows some put writing has also come in at 35,500. So it will be interesting to see how this works. But 36,000 is a very good support. Breaking 36,000 is difficult because even the call sellers have exited today. If you see the change in OI, some put writing has come at 36,500, which is out of the money right now, right? We have closed at 33,900, and out of the money 33,500 there's some put writing. So this strike price can swing either way, on the upside or downside. So if we look to trade, if we look to decide to trade this 36,500, the best entries is, as mentioned here, probably a rejection here. If this breaks, probably trade for this gap fill, or if this trend line breaks, first target and then the CPR as the CPR S2 as the second target. So this is a plan in Bank Nifty. If anything out of the box happens like today, apart from our plan, we'll just have to improvise in the live market. And this is the same thing even I posted here, that if this R1 breaks in a Cosmofeed group, that we could dip, but we got a dip until this previous day high, but previous day high could not break, and this was not a very easy trade to take, as unless somebody is good with the scalping. Now for example, on a 5-minute chart, if I show you how we can scalp, see for example here on this R1 we took a good rejection, right? If somebody had entered here, the moment this hit we should have exited, or the moment we see it is reversing we could have exited. Now see this candle, if somebody had shorted here and not exited here, the entire profit would have gone and we would have been in loss. Now if you see this in a lower time frame, I don't trade in 1 minute, but just to show how we can decide on the exit. See now for example in this fall we came here, and you see the next candle in the lower time frame is not giving you the follow up, we can immediately exit, and a trade like this is a scalping trade. So from past few days it's only that is happening, where people who are scalping are making money in buying, but option sellers are making nice money. Now coming to the levels for Nifty, just get rid of everything and draw again. So there's a very good resistance for Nifty over here at 17,300. There's also one gap that needs to be filled at 17,370. See in the last, the Nifty has given a pretty good move. The candle almost from 3 o'clock it went from 17,019 until almost 100 points it moved in the last 1 hour. Not sure why that move came. We have a very good support here at 17,000, and if that breaks, obviously this is our support. And if you closely observe, even in Nifty we have this kind of a can we make use of this? No, we can't make use of this because it's not perfect. In Nifty this would be a good trade. If this breaks tomorrow, depending on the gap up or a gap down, probably we can take resistance here at 17,300, and there is a good chance that we might reverse from this 17,300, or here itself if we get some rejection we might even reverse from here 17,200. And on the downside we have two good support levels, that is here, one is 17,100 and then 17,065. Sorry. I don't think there'll be very good like big moves even tomorrow. It might be a little sideways. One day before the monthly expiry, we'll have to wait and see how it goes. Now just looking at the Nifty open interest, right? So there's a very good support at 17,200, and the first good level of resistance is coming in at 17,300. And you see the change in OI that has happened over here, where a lot of put sellers have come in right today, and the call sellers nothing much. So based on the OI in Nifty and Banknifty, right, it's looking a little bullish. Not sure why. Maybe this might work. I'm just keeping my fingers crossed. This can go horribly wrong, but we will trade based on the levels. This kind of a move, or if not the entire length, probably at least this gap fill might be possible. See, in both Nifty and Banknifty we see a lot of put writers that have come in at the money, right? 17,200. And good resistance is only at 17,300 in Nifty, where we also have this price action over here. See, and if we get that momentous move, and if this level breaks, then probably definitely we'll fill this gap because there is one nice gap in Nifty which I'm marking now. So that's it for Nifty and Bank Nifty. Let's see, hope tomorrow we get a little bit of trending move so that we can make some money. Thank you for watching.